super cute and like super curious. And some asshole was like feeding him bread, and I was like, dude, stop. Like, y'all see the size of that chicken? this like loser was feeding him bread, and I was like, please stop feeding this poor lizard bread, dude. And the guy was like, you know, he even said at one, I know, and at one point he goes, I think I saw a sign that said no feeding the animals. And in my head I was like, oh, good, like we got there. And then he kept doing it, and I was like, you're fucking dumb, dude. I wish I could have gotten a picture of him. There was a sign 5 feet away from him, behind him, that said, do not feed the animals, and this man's like feeding. And I wish I could have gotten an action shot of him throwing bread to an iguana with that sign in the background. Even better if it's a picture of like the iguana biting his finger. Because, yeah, I was just like, dude, you're dumb. Don't do that. It just pisses me off. Anyway, beautiful beaches, really warm water. You can see people are swimming. I wasn't really in the mood to swim because I knew that we were still going to be hiking, and I didn't want to like hike with wet clothes. I hate like having a wet swimsuit, like, ugh, under my clothes. I hate that feeling. So I only like to swim if I know that I can like dry off and change afterwards. Yeah, you don't want to sit around in a wet swimsuit. It's gross. But the water was really nice. I did wade in, and it was lovely and warm. Everyone was swimming. It's almost like a private beach because you have to pay park admission to get into the national park. So everyone here had paid admission. So it's almost like a paid beach. You gave an iguana some of a mango ice pop to distract it from coming close to you once. I feel like a mango ice pop is better than bread. Like, in general, you don't want to feed animals because you don't want to encourage them. Like, you don't want to make them sick. B, you don't want to encourage them to be too friendly with humans. But, you know, whatever. This guy was just being an asshole. And there he is. There's my guy swimming in the Pacific Ocean. I don't think he's swimming. I think he's standing. Let's see if this is what I think it is. Sorry, I'm gonna let it buffer a wee tad bit. I just realized I didn't have dinner. I drank some of this soup, and it has a couple noodles in it, but it's not really a proper meal. I don't know if you can tell, but that is a monkey with the baby on its back. You can see the baby holding on to the mom. Yeah, it's a white face. I think it's a white face capuchin monkey. I have a whole bunch of them. People were like going nuts for these guys. They're really freaking cute. You can hear a bunch of people like chattering though because everyone's trying to take video because they're just so cute. Yeah, and we wanted to see monkeys, and we saw a lot of monkeys, so that was cool. Because that was like one of the reasons that we came to Manuel Antonio. Excuse me, was we wanted to see some monkeys. Because our whole trip, I was actually quite surprised. We didn't really see monkeys. We didn't see any monkeys in La Fortuna or Monteverde, and I was very shocked. So you can see they're just like chilling. That's my husband going, please be quiet, because the guy was being so loud. He's like, please, shh. This guy was like FaceTiming with his like friend and was like yelling about the monkeys. All Fresh was like, "Can you please be quiet?" You can see there's the baby. I mean, it's better if I let it sit for a second. This guy was really playful, and he kept like playing with this food and like throwing it around. Oh, the howlers were scary. We heard some howlers. We saw them really high up. Didn't get a good view of them because they were really high in the tree, but we did see them, and then we heard them. They were super loud, but they weren't where we were staying. It was only here at the national park. I saw monkeys the last time I walked at the Coney Island here, and I freaked out because they were by the exit. Monkeys are kind of scary, and they can be aggressive. They definitely can be very aggressive, and they can scratch and they can bite. I don't recommend getting too close to them. My mom left me, and I was like, "Help your adult child here." Yeah, you're like, "Mommy." Like, he was like jumping around. He was so playful, and he was like eating this food. You can hear like the waves crashing. Yeah, I think they have one where I think I might have one where he does a little where he does a little flip. Look at this one. This one is giving strong Felix vibes. Oh. Do you guys get the strong Felix vibes? Oh, that's a kind of scary one. It's a cute one, but it's a scary one. Monkeys are freaky. Look at that. Yeah, he was hanging all legs off, and his cheek was just like smushed against the branch. This monkey was so cute. Let's see. They eat with passion, yeah. They do. So you can see they're just like hanging back here, and they just like let all of their limbs dangle. Let me see, I don't know if this is the video. Oh, yeah, like jumping around. And then this one came walking right by my husband. So I like tapped him, and I was like, right over there. Because he like literally walked right by him. I think this is the one where he does the little flippy. He does a little somersault. It's so cute. I'm gonna watch it again. That monkey was a character. He was really goofy. I think he was showing off. Okay, here we found our sloth content, guys. I told you guys there would be sloths. It's too bad everyone went to bed. Not everyone, but a lot of people went to sleep already. But that's what VODs are for. Guys, we saw a sloth like really close in the wild. Hey, hey. Kid kept yelling, and it was stressing the sloth out. Look at him! This kid was literally yelling. We were up in like this, we were kind of like in an observation tower that was like about 3 stories up, 3 stories up, and the sloth happened to be right next to it so we could get a good view, but this kid was in the tower yelling down to his mom, and we were like, go walk down there and talk to her yourself. Stop screaming because there is a sloth here who is just trying to hang out, you know? Have a good night, DL. Thanks for hanging out. So we were just like, can you please be quiet? Because this kid was just like yelling. And the sloth like was obviously like kind of agitated and was like, I would be too. It was just a kid, you know, yelling to get his mom's attention, but we were like, can you just walk down the stairs and talk to her, please? Like, she like didn't hear him, and so he just kept yelling and yelling. And but yeah, the sloth was like one of the highlights of the day for me. Oh, you can hear him yelling some more. This kid was really loud, like unreasonably loud. I think we told him to like please be quiet. Yeah.
Please stop it.
Like shh.
He keeps yelling.
This kid was just screaming. My husband got so mad at him. He was like, "Can you please be quiet?" Like yelling at this child. Do they not have many park rangers? Not really. I mean, they have them, but I mean, not really. So we were just like, shut up. I think he finally did at this one. But like, how cool is it to see a sloth like so close up like this? I feel like you never get to see this. And he was cruising. Look at him go. Scoot, scoot. No, not in a zoo. Not in a zoo or anything like that. This is just in the wild. We just happened to have a good view because you could see we were in this like observation tower and the sloth just so happened to be a couple trees away from it. So we like tried to get a whole bunch. Eventually he moved, probably because he was annoyed at that kid. He like tried to move to a different tree. And then by the time we did a different hike and came back, he was in a different tree and we couldn't see him as well from the observation tower anymore. Oh, oh, oh. This is what introverts feel like. He's pulling some sort of maneuver. I don't know what he's up to. But he actually was cruising like pretty fast for what I would consider like a sloth. Yeah, too much noise, we go hide. Like, yes, they're slow moving, but I was still kind of impressed that he was like kind of cruising. Yeah, really deliberate with like how they grab and like how they move. They don't really expend any unnecessary energy. Sloths can swim? Like actually? They're graceful swimmers. No way. Oh, yeah, I want to see that. They're graceful swimmers. Wow. I wouldn't have guessed. Oh, we saw another big boy. Look at him. He's having a beach day. This is the toxic tree. Don't touch. I didn't touch it. No, Tokar! Then we went down to that little tip where you could do the loop around the edge of the park on that like little sticky outy part. It was a nice little loop, very scenic. And you're like on these like really sheer cliffs. Oh, this one? Yeah. This is an agouti, agouti. I don't know how to pronounce it. Agouti, I think. Agouti. It's kind of like a rodent. It looks like a capybara, but it's about the size of like a rabbit. There's a few more back. Oh, this one? Yeah, a lot of cliffs. So it's a rodent. They're kind of shy and quiet, but we saw a couple. We saw one in at Mount Arnall, and we saw one at this one. A proto cappy bunny. And then we found like another beach. This one was a lot more private. So over here, all the way over here around this rock, is the beach we were at earlier, like just a couple slides ago. Not a couple, but like 20 slides ago. And this is like a separate corner, kind of more wood, more driftwood. The water was definitely a lot choppier. I told my husband, I was like, I don't think you should swim. It looks really rough. I said, you can wade, but I would not swim at this part. It looks too choppy. But he did go in. He said, take a picture of me on this log and get one when a wave comes and splashes me. And I was like, okay. So we sat here for like a few minutes because the waves weren't that big. So I was like waiting for a big one to come hit him. And it finally did. And he was like, ah. I thought it was a cute picture. I can't remember what this picture was of. Oh, is that the sloth? Oh, it is the sloth. There he is. It's the same sloth, but he moved to a different tree in the time that we took our hike. I think I got all the pictures that I could get. Oh, this is cool. This video weirded me out because I was walking and I took a step and suddenly the ground started moving, so I freaked out. And it was a shitload of hermit crabs. There were a lot of hermit crabs, and I had seen a bunch of them, but I hadn't seen a whole bunch moving at the same time like that, and so I like almost stumbled onto them and was like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. Yeah, it was so freaking picturesque and beautiful. Like, I love how the rainforest comes right up to the beach. That one seems to be a panoramic that didn't load, which is okay. Yeah, and they have these cool little islands, and we're like, dude, you could easily swim to that. Like, it's not that far. You could definitely swim to that, no problem. And I bet there's like, you know, cool stuff on that. I bet there's like stuff living on there. Yeah, we were like, I bet there's monkeys on those. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe some deadly snakes. I don't know. So yeah, this is Manuel Antonio National Park. It was awesome. If you guys ever go to Costa Rica and you ever are on that side of the country, it's well worth a visit. It was super cool. I loved it. We ended up hitting up the waterfall, and it started to rain as we like finished the national park. We were like, oh, we've almost done the whole park, and the park was closing in like 15 minutes, and we were like, let's just run to the waterfall and back, and we did it, and of course we hit stairs, and we are like, oh god, there's stairs, no, but we did it anyway, and we were so tired. There's a lot of vipers, including the fer de lance, a lot of Dodge vipers. Then we stopped at Pollolandia. This place is called Pollolandia. It's just like a fried chicken shop. It's a chain. It was good though. This place was kind of weird. It was like they built all these, it was like by the side of the road, and they built all these restaurants down here, and then all of these are living spaces. And this whole area seemed to be very much like filled with expats. Like, all these people seemed to be like American and European, and we were like, what is going on here? It was super weird. Like, I felt like it was built for expats. It was kind of strange. There was like an Italian restaurant. I don't know. It was like really weird. And there was this one guy who was wearing like a US military shirt. So I asked him like, you know, where are you from? Do you live here? Do you live in the US? And he said, oh, I'm originally from the US, but I've lived in Costa Rica. I think he said for like several decades, like a really long time. I crazy. But he was wearing like an American flag mask and like army sweatpants and a t-shirt that said like remembering the lost blah 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 of whatever war or whatever, and I was just like, you are all decked out for someone who's lived in Costa Rica for I don't know how many decades. That's really weird. Like, you're weird, sir. I didn't say that, but I don't know. I saw a double rainbow. Poyolandia. Okay, so we got sushi because we wanted to try something different, and we were like, let's see if the Costa Ricans know how to do sushi. Maybe he got his clothes at the Trump closeout sale. Yeah, maybe. So we tried the sushi to see if it was any good. It was okay. It wasn't great. It would have been fine if they just got the rice correct. The rice, though, did not have enough vinegar in it, which is such a crucial part of sushi, and it had like not enough vinegar, and so that kind of made the whole thing not so good. The rest of it would have been fine if the vinegar level had just been correct. But it's just like some pretty basic rolls. We were cracking up though because this one has plantains on top. You can't get away from the plantains. They're on your sushi and everything. It was pretty good though. Like honestly, like sweet plantains on a sushi roll, actually not bad. Just if only the sushi rice was better. Here we got some foggy fog. A plantain dragon roll? Yeah, totally. Let's see. What is this? I don't know what this is. I got green tea short grain rice over the weekend. So it's rice that tastes like tea? It's foggy. It's foggy and misty. These are okay. Now we're in San Jose. Looks like a machete cut that trail. Yeah, probably. So we spent our last day in San Jose, which is like the big city. That's where the airport. That's where the main airport is. And we thought we would go there and do some shopping and just kind of hang out and be close to the airport. And I'm glad we did because it just made that last day like a lot less stressful. Because we did, like I drove us from Jaco to San Jose. It wasn't too long. It was like 2-3 hours. Not horrible. But then it was nice because then we were already there, and then we just had to drive like 15 minutes to go drop the car off. So this is like a whole bunch of spices at this market. It was like this indoor market where they have everything from like clothes, bags, souvenirs, food, restaurants. We're almost done. This is my last full day. I'm pretty close to the end. So here we are walking around downtown. This is like downtown San Jose. And it was very busy. And I don't know if you guys can see, but I don't know if you guys can tell. Everyone is wearing a mask, even though we're outdoors. So, because some people were asking me, like, you know, what was it like traveling during COVID? And honestly, I feel like Costa Rica was super, super COVID safe, super like COVID conscious, like, they really take it serious there. They really do. And so even when you're outdoors, people wear masks as long, like if you're by yourself, you don't. But if you're in a place where you're walking by other people outdoors, they do wear a mask. And also, you have to wear a mask in anytime you're indoors. You have to wear a mask, except when you're sitting at a table eating. Just a cultural courtesy, yeah. And then the other thing, oh, solar panels, these? Maybe. I'm not sure. The other thing that I thought that I really liked was most places had a sink with hand soap and running water outside, like a restaurant or a shop or something. And very frequently, people would stop me and be like, "Oh, can you please wash your hands before you come in?" And then you're like, "Oh yeah, of course." And it would be like a step pump. So you step on the little foot pump, and it pumps a little bit of water. Wash your hands, soap and water, clean paper towels, boom, 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 and then you got your mask on, and they're like, "Okay, come on in." And it was really nice because then my hands were like always clean. No, but it was great because I felt like my hands were always clean because I always had somewhere to wash it. You know, sometimes when you travel, it's hard to find somewhere to wash your hands. Sometimes restrooms cost money, sometimes they're dirty. Like, these were all really clean, really accessible. Even if you weren't dining at that restaurant, if you're walking by a restaurant and there's a sink right outside it, you can just stop by real quick and just wash your hands. Everyone's chill with it, you know? Yeah, with the ecotourism being so crucial, I can tell that they're really trying to be safe, and it made me feel so much better being there, knowing that like they actually were taking it seriously. Most of the people that I talked to about COVID, so like people like the tour guides, the hotel people, most of them said like we're all vaccinated because like obviously in the more remote areas, the poorer areas, and the less touristy areas, they're not going to be as vaccinated because there's less there's less contact with the outside world. There's maybe less resources or maybe less like knowledge of how vaccines work and the importance of them. You know what I mean? But anywhere where there was like most of the places we were that were touristy, the people were like, "Yeah, we're vaccinated," because they want life to come back to normal because they really need tourism. So I generally felt extremely safe. And you guys know I had to take a COVID test to come back to the US and I tested negative. So like it seems like their measures worked. I'm also vaccinated too, but still like, you know. So that was awesome. I loved that. This is like a square. This statue is a guy sweeping. I don't know. I'm wondering if it's like some sort of like celebration of laborers. I'm not really sure. SJO is San Jose. That's like the airport code for San Jose, if you're wondering. This is me in the jungle. I'm back in the jungle, guys. You guys thought we came back to the city? No, we're back in the jungle. Yeah, we're just being stupid. This is like a weird store. It was kind of like a thrift store, but not really. I feel like it was almost like a Ross or like a discount store, but they had so much weird shit. You just can't take me out of the jungle. I wonder how many people have this as their main jungle experience on the trip. Probably not that many. I think most people come to Costa Rica to do ecotourism. I don't think most people come to go to San Jose. But they had a whole bunch of like weird, just a whole bunch of weird stuff. This whole table was all like kitchen stuff. This over here was all like kids stuff. They had tons of clothes, but none of it seemed used. So it was kind of weird because it felt like a thrift store, but none of the stuff like actually seemed used. So it was kind of, yeah, kind of like a flea market. I don't know. I don't really know what the deal was. Here is, you can't really see very well, but it's just a sign saying that they're celebrating like their bicentennial. We went to McDonald's. Sells all the shit no one wanted. Yeah, maybe like an outlet store. Yeah, kind of. We went to McDonald's, and because you know we wanted to check it out, see how it was. It was really close to our hotel, and we wanted to get a snack. I didn't get anything. My husband got a cheeseburger. It was fine. He said it was okay. One of my friends got the chicken nuggets. Guys, they were the worst chicken nuggets I've ever had in my entire life, without a doubt. They were so bad. I don't even know how they could fuck them up so badly. It's like they accidentally fried them like 3 times. Like, they were so dry. The chicken had like shriveled. It was almost like it was a potato chip. It was so thin and dry and crunchy. And it was like it was crunchy. Oh my god, it was so gross. I don't know how. I literally don't know how it could be so bad. Maybe some surplus stuff that didn't sell in Mexico and the US. Yeah, some of the stuff was clearly like American. It was just kind of weird. I don't know. Did they have the American dips? Yeah, basically. Yeah, essentially. I don't know. I could not believe that they were that bad. Did the McFlurry machine work? I didn't ask. Sorry. We went to a restaurant that had this on the wall, and I don't know. I like Anthony Bourdain. I don't know if he actually said that. It sounds like something he would say. You would have gotten a Pollo McCrispy and a Kit Kat shake. I should have gotten something, but I wasn't really that hungry. And yeah, I don't know. Like, guys, I don't even know how to. I don't know if we took a picture of the chicken nuggets. I can't remember if anyone took a photo, but they were god awful. Okay, so we went to a Italian restaurant on our last night. Honestly, we were sick of rice and beans. We really wanted something different, and it was getting kind of late. And we found this place called Pasta Pronto, and it was like literally right around the corner from where we were staying. So we were like, fantastic. Let's just walk here, because it was like, I don't know, a 40-second walk. So the owner comes out, and he's like super American. He's like, "Hey guys, welcome. My name's Marco. I'm the owner of this place. It's great to have you here. Thank you so much." And we're like, this guy's American. So I asked him, we're like, "Where are you from?" He's like, "Oh, I'm from Los Angeles." And we were like, "Nuh-uh, really?" He's like, "Yeah, my grandmother is Costa Rican, so I used to come down to Costa Rica all the time. When I was younger, I used to visit. And then eventually I was he was working at a tech job, and he, like some sort of software tech. Oh yeah, a lot of expats own restaurants and bars. This guy was really cool, like very, very sweet, very nice guy. Probably under 40, I would guess, like in his late 30s, maybe early 40s. And this was in San Jose. And he says, "Yeah, I was living in Los Angeles. I was working for some sort of like software tech company, and a lot of our, like we have, I don't know if they had a branch in San Jose, or they were somehow had coworkers or colleagues or something in San Jose, and he went down to visit for a work trip, and then ended up like really loving it as an adult. He had been as a kid, but he loved it as an adult, and was like, I'm gonna move down here." And so he like literally moved down to Costa Rica, opened a restaurant, and then 2 days after he opened his restaurant, COVID lockdown started. Felix, is that you? What's wrong, baby? Are you okay? Is that Dexter? Is it Felix? What's wrong? Are you okay? Are you okay? Almost sounded like someone was doing the barf cry for a second. I would expect people from LA to be the most common U.S. city for long-term expats. I was more surprised about the Bakersfield lady. Yeah, totally. Yeah, I heard someone going, "Wow, wow," and it almost sounded like Dexter's like, "Help me, mama, I gotta throw up" sound. Anywho, so he opens this restaurant. 2 days later, the country goes into lockdown, and he's like, fuck. But he transitioned to doing a lot of catering, so they managed to stay afloat throughout the pandemic, and we went there, and the food was really good. And here's like a garlic roll. This is a caprese. He literally gave us these for free, because we were just making small talk, and he's a small relatively new business, like trying to get off the ground. And so he was like giving us samples of stuff. He like gave us this roll. He gave us the caprese for free. He gave us this fancy drink. Well, no, actually, sorry, we paid for this one, but he gave my friend a free sangria. Most precious meow. Is that an old one? That's an old clip, huh?
Thank you, my friend. Oh, yeah, do that.
This is so fancy. Oh, it was a pre-puke one? Oh no. He does a really sad puke. He
Thank you
goes,
so much.
so this was like a delicious margarita. It was so freaking bomb. It had like fresh mango and I think passion fruit.
That smells real fresh, bro. Thank you, my friend.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
It was super good. Oh wait, hang on. I think he samples it too. It's a giant drink too.
It's very good and very strong. Thank you.
Yeah, it's like super fresh fruit. We weren't even gonna get drinks, but the guy was, you know, he was a good seller, and he was just like, yeah, all of our stuff. He was like, I get all of our stuff, like almost every day fresh at the farmers market. Like we supply our cheese from here, we supply our meat from here, all of our fruit. Like we make fresh purees every day with like seasonal fruit. And he was like, today we've got mango and I don't know, some sort of berry and I think it was passion fruit and something. So he was like, we can kind of infuse them into any drink you want. So if let's say you want to do like a mango mojito or something, he was like, we've got a like a mixologist on staff. It was a whole, you know, it's a nice operation he's trying to run here. Do we have any micheladas? No, I didn't, and I didn't really see any, although I wasn't looking hard. But it was a really tasty drink and a big fat drink too. And then my friend got a sangria just for free. I don't know. Let's see. I got Alfredo with chicken and mushrooms. It was delicious. I never order Alfredo because it's so heavy, but I was like, fuck it. It's my last night of vacation. If I want to eat a whole bowl of Alfredo, I'm going to do it. And I did it. Because I like never order Alfredo. It's just way too rich. But I was like, I'm doing it. This is what my husband got. He got a spaghetti carbonara. He got like kind of like a dinner combo. It's funny, they called it an Italian casado, playing off the rice and beans dish, except the idea being it's a pasta, a meat, and a salad. So I was like, okay, that's cute. It was plenty of food. And so this carbonara, like a breaded chicken fillet and like a house salad. This is a kind of like a Caribbean pasta. So it had carrots and zucchini and onions and shrimp with like a savory coconut, kind of like a, not curry, but like a coconutty pasta sauce. So it was kind of like Caribbean flavors, kind of some island flavors. That was pretty good. And then pesto. See, the great thing about traveling with additional people is additional food photos. Every time we eat, we get double the food pictures because there's 4 of us instead of 2. So that was great. I had like double the food pics. Yeah, the pesto was really lovely. That's the place of it. There's Felix again. Don't ask, I don't know. This was my breakfast. They gave me a hot dog. I don't know why. This shrimp one is my favorite so far. What? Photo? This? Like favorite food photo? The pancake was a little bit burnt, Kenny. Oh, of the pastas. Yeah. Yeah, they were all delicious. I tried all of them. They did singe my pancake a little bit. I also asked for scrambled eggs, not sunny side up, but it's okay. You know what? I lived to tell the tale. We went to an art museum on our last day. This is our last morning, like before we left. Um, it was a free museum. It was the Museum of Costa Rican Art, totally free to enter. Um, and it was built in a building that used to be an old airport, like a small local airport. So all of these works of art ranging from I think maybe like the mid 1800s to like present day, and they had some different collections. Um, I didn't take a ton of pictures of just the art itself. All right, can you hear me? Thanks, guys. Thanks for not letting me just chat for 3 minutes dead. Um, oh wait, so you know this mural? I thought it was designed for this room. Are you saying it's not? Oh, the previous one. Really? This one? I thought it was designed just for this. I'm pretty sure it was because this is not a mural. This is like carved into the wall. Yeah, maybe some of the same imagery, but basically it's called the Gold Room, and it's like um, sorry, the light was making it kind of hard to take pictures, but it was like literally carved in bas relief onto the wall and then painted with like maybe some sort of like bronzish, goldish paint. And so it was really cool. So it tells the whole history of Costa Rica. Some communist vibes, maybe. I was going to say more like colonial vibes, but you start when you enter. When you enter the door over here on your left, you walk through and you have like the pre colonial era. So this is all, let me see. There we go. So this is all like tribal times. So you have tribes cultivating the land. Yeah, you've got like monkeys, and you have all the plants and stuff like that. And then over here you have the arrival of, I guess, the Spanish. Yeah, I think the Spanish. So you have like the arrival of the ships, the Spaniards, like the meeting of two cultures. Yeah, one man's colony is another man's commune, sure. And then it continues over here. I didn't get pictures of this corner, but over here you get to like some conflict. Over here you have like kind of colonial era where you can start to see more infrastructure being built. Um, uh, yeah, you can see this guy, the shirtless guy carrying a beam. So there's more like industry, more more infrastructure. Over here we start to have like more education, like more like formal education. I guess like European style education. Yeah, this is a free museum. And then I don't know who all these people are, but you just see a lot more innovation. Like I think this guy looks like he's doing some sort of architecture or like building thing. This guy is holding a torch. I think the torch symbolizes their independence. So that would be 200 years ago that they gained their independence from Spain. And then over here, then you can see like a whole new era. You've got trains, you've got like this guy holding this thing. I'm pretty sure it's like an architecture thing. You've got like builders, doctors, laborers, and they're kind of like, oh, I went back too far. Yeah, kind of like a more industrial era coming towards the present day. So I don't know, it was very cool. I mean, like, obviously, I'm sure Costa Rica has some brutal history. I'm sure any colonial country, like any country that was colonized, is gonna have a pretty tumultuous past, I think. You know what I mean? So, for better or for worse, it shaped the country, and so it kind of like tells the whole story of how Costa Rica came to be. It was very cool. It was a very, very cool room. Plumb bob? What's a plumb bob? That little dangly thing? What did you call me? Yeah, so this is the second floor. So all the way in here, you can see in here is the gold room. Did you learn if Costa Rica had more Aztec or Mayan influence? I think it was a totally different tribe. Guatemala is much more on the Mayan side. Okay, so the tribes of Costa Rica, there are 8 indigenous tribes in Costa Rica: the Huetar, Maleku, Bribri, Cabacar, Brunca, Ngabe, and Broran. Oh, sorry, and Chorotega. They constitute about 2.4% of the total population. As far as like Mayan, Aztec, Inca, let's see. Guatemala is like more Mayan. I'll be honest, I totally mix up Mayan, Aztec, and Incan all the time. I cannot keep them straight. Trying to see if I have an answer for you. I don't know. So these tribes can be traced back to possibly the Mayans and the Aztecs. I don't know though. Yeah, blame Disney. Thanks, Bitter Dan. Bitter Dan did the research for us. Costa Rica never had a thriving indigenous culture such as the empires of the Mayan, Aztec, or Inca people. That's what I thought. The native people were culturally influenced by Mesoamerican tribes from Central America and cultures from northern South America, basically like what is now Colombia. Kind of a melting pot, but that's what I suspected, because I feel like when you go somewhere that has a very strong like Mayan culture or Aztec history or whatever, they really lean into that as part of their tourism, as part of their like heritage, part of their cultural story. And I didn't really get a lot of that. And so that's why I was like, I don't think so, because I feel like if that would be the case, I would have heard about it. You know what I mean? This is a park outside the Free Art Museum. It's a nice little park. Sorry, loading. I can hear my dog snoring on the ground. The land narrows so much around that part of the continents. Yeah, so you have a lot of people. You probably have a lot of people passing through. So I'm sure it's like a huge mix. Sorry, loading. Come on. We're almost at the end. We almost did it. Hard to find flat ground for farming. Well, I mean, Costa Rica does have a lot of mountains and hills and stuff, but Costa Rica has some insanely good farming. I feel like they've managed to do pretty good for themselves in that department. So it was like a nice little public park here. Oh my God, is every single one gonna load like this? Holy Jesus. Yeah, that's what I was actually gonna say, is because of all the volcanic activity and like they have multiple volcanoes, but and so that makes the soil really rich and really good for growing shit. Yeah. Like on a scale of a massive pre-industrial civilization, but that's what I'm saying. I don't think so, because I feel like if there had been, I would have heard about it. Because they probably would have leaned into it and wanted to play that up for the tourists. But the fact that they don't tells me that that wasn't really a part of the history. So they had this cool little like lagoon with flowers. It was so peaceful. This is just like a big public park, really huge. Like to walk from one, it was like a size of a rectangle. We walked from one corner to the other and it took like maybe half an hour. So it was pretty big. It was like a pretty big park. And the flowers were lovely. And we saw a kitty cat. We were like, dude, I bet that cat like works hard. I bet there's a lot of mice to eat in that broken building. He's a very cute cat. Then we went to the Natural History Museum, which was not much of a museum. They had a lot of specimens, but basically no description. So it was kind of just like a giant, I know, isn't it so cute? It was kind of just like a huge collection of specimens without a lot of explanation at all. But it was like $3 or $4 to get in. So we were like, yeah, whatever, we'll go. Why not? You take that back. It's better than the tar pits. So they had a lot of cool shit here. I don't know if you guys can see, but this says Zilapalos. Remember I said Zilapalo means petrified wood? So, oh, here it is. Here's our Zilapalos. So these are petrified wood samples, ammonites. They had a really good collection of everything from like fossils, shells, insects, butterflies, taxidermied like mammals, reptiles, birds, even some dinosaur bones. Sea creatures. They had a really good collection. I know you're serious. It was very cool though. There was a lot of specimens. It's just like it didn't tell you anything about them. So these are all the crustaceos, the crusty CEOs. So we have all sorts of like crabs. The lighting alone puts it on top. We have a whole bunch of like giant prawns, lobsters, and crabs. Sea bugs. Yummy. A bunch of like snakes and turtles. There's some weird shit. We definitely saw some weird shit. There was a jar with a human fetus in it. I didn't take a picture. I thought it would be upsetting for people. Snakes.